On August 14th, 2000, the next expansion, Gym Heroes, was released. In addition, 2 months later, on October 16th, 2000, Gym Challenge was released as well. These two expansions changed the game to become what is known as the base gym format. These sets expanded the concept of named cards, giving each gym leader from the Kanto region their own unique team of Pokemon to play with. The impactful cards in these sets were the Rocket's Trap, Chaos Gym, Erica's Jigglypuff, Rocket's Zapdos, Erica's Dratini, Misty's Wrath, No Removal Gym, Brock's Ninetales, Tickling Machine, and Erica. In this series, James and Pat will be exploring the forgotten history of the Pokemon trading card game. Each episode, we will be examining a different historical format and uncover the secret evolution of the game. This is the history of the Pokemon trading card game. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the next exciting installment of the history of the Pokemon trading card game. Unfortunately, James was able to beat me with the first place finishing deck last episode. However, I think this week I will be able to restart my climb to the top to become the very best like no one ever was. As you can see, we have brought back the wheel this week, and I do in fact have a saved respin from before, so I can respin if I want to. However, I do want to make a quick point about this set. In the United States, the gym set was actually split up, as you saw in the opening, whereas in Japan it was actually one set, which is why we have combined it here. In addition, this was the set played both before and after next episode's format. But more on that later. As far as the decks are concerned, we actually have 8 decks here on this wheel. As you can see, it's very colorful. It's actually fairly interesting because this is no longer the format of just big men hit hard. To start off, we have Erica's Aerodactyl. This deck uses Aerodactyl's passive ability to ensure that Dratini never takes more than 10 damage a turn, while you set up your bench to prepare for a lethal push. Mew is also played to great effect, where instead of looking to OHKO Mewtwo, as it was used previously, its second ability, De-Evolution Beam, is used to devolve any evolved Pokemon to continue with the same strategy. So in case you miss them with Aerodactyl, you're able to devolve them then with Mew. This next deck is Brock and Misty, which uses Brock's Ninetales to shapeshift into one of the most powerful but most unreliant Pokemon released in this set, which is Misty's Gyarados. Poliwrath and Dark Blastoise are also strong targets for this premier water deck, and if you need time to set up, Dratini and Chansey can stall long enough for you to get rolling. Vileplume Stun, which is something I will be on the watch for because I do not want to play this, but I know James probably will. It's a deck that deep draws us 2 strong new trainer cards in Erica and Misty's Wrath. Headache from Psyduck also provides time for you to evolve into Vileplume and then prepare Snorlax for attacks. It's basically just shut down your opponent and then hit hard with Big Guy later. This next deck is actually a fairly interesting interaction here between Raticate and Mr. Mime. Eradicate halves the opponent's HP with Super Fang, and Mr. Mime then finishes off with Meditate. Resistance Gym then removes the resistance to Psychic, which makes this deck deadly if given enough time. Then we have an interesting strategy. We have Rocket's Zapdos. It is the ultimate evolution of Haymaker. This is the last Haymaker deck we'll see of this style. Rocket Zapdos is the final form of Hitmonchan and Mewtwo. It is able to dish out serious damage at very low cost, and can get moving incredibly quickly. Tickling Moltres is another interesting deck, which I think James is probably going to be going for. It's a strong mill strategy using the Tickling Machine and Imposter Professor Oak to paralyze your opponent, while you then mill them out with Moltres' Wildfire attack. Very, very dangerous. Then we have Wigglytuff Beatdown. I don't think this needs any more explanation. If you've watched the last couple of episodes, you know I like this deck. If I spin it, I probably won't play it just so we can see some other decks, but we'll have to see. Then we have Hand Destruction. This is the ultimate hand destruction deck at this point. Under the current of the meta, there has been consistent hand destruction, but it's more so just been added on to a variety of decks. So you've seen Last get played a few times. It kind of just was added on. However, we have Erica, Imposter Oak's Revenge, and Rocket Sneak Attack to remove all of the opponent's card in hand and prevent them from playing the game. This can be done turn 1, so your opponent starts with 0 cards in their hand. And then you can also just use Mankey's Peak to let you know what they're drawing, so you have complete knowledge of their hand. Or just shuffle their deck if you don't want them to get that at all. So without any further ado, we're going to get straight into the spin here, so let's see what we get. So it's Wigglytuff Beatdown. As you know, I love this deck. I think it's so much fun. I really like to play it. It's very, very simple, which is great for me. But, you know, I'm going to take one for the team here. I'm going to respin because I know you guys don't want to see me playing this yet again. Even though I will have another chance to play it, but, you know, I just think we're gonna move on. Let's see what we can get for our respin here. Well, this is way worse. So this is Vileplume Stun. So this deck, I don't like playing Stun. I don't like playing Burn Mill either. I like to just beat down, but you know what? That's what I spun. That's what we're gonna play. Let's see how much I can make James hate his life. I'll catch you guys in the deck builder.
Well, last week we saw exactly why I'm the Pokemon Master and Patrick isn't, as I cruised to a nice and easy victory via deck out. But regardless of how I won, I'm in the victory circle again this week, and that means I get 2 spins, and this time I am going to follow the rules instead of making stuff up on the fly. So this set is focused on new and unique playstyles, from fun cards like the Rocket's Trap, which required the first ever limiting of cards, but we'll talk a little bit more about that next week. Even better, Erica's Jigglypuff made it so your opening hand, if it was lucky, you just straight up win the game on your first turn, which is totally fair and balanced and not at all a dead giveaway. This is a brand new card game at the time. Regardless, the 2 gym sets introduced interesting playstyles that allowed for more flexibility in the game. With Brock's Ninetales, old Pokemon that were strong but slow were now lightning fast, and a variety of new gyms allowed for longer build-up strategies to work more effectively. This week, I'm looking to play one of the 2 Disruption decks, either Vileplume Stun or Tickling Moltres. Normally, I'd want to play Hand Destruction, but to be honest, that's a little mean even for me. So let's see what we get. See if we're going to have to take a second spin here. Ooh, Rocket Zapdos. I'm definitely going to respin. Okay, there we go. That time I got Tickling Moltres. So I get to mill Patrick, which is fantastic because I actually won by deck out last week. So super convenient. I'm excited. I'll see you guys in deck breakdown.
Alright, so here we are with the deck list. I don't know how well this is going to do. It doesn't look all that competent to me, but I think when we get a little bit further into it, it does make some level of sense. So the essential goal here is you want to start with a side deck and an Oddish. Put your Oddish on your bench, you have side deck out, you attach one of these psychic energies to the side deck, use Headache so your opponent can't use any trainer cards, which is the stun part, right? And then you try to deep draw into your deck until you get Vileplume. You can either get Dark Vileplume and evolve it straight onto Oddish, or you can actually Pokemon Breeder it onto Oddish. And why you might want to do that is you would love to have a Dark Gloom out. Now, Dark Gloom is also very important for this deck to function, because your win condition basically is you get Snorlax out there with 2 double colorless on there and just body slam a whole bunch. And the best way to prepare Snorlax for that is you have a Dark Gloom out there, and you keep on flipping for Pollen Stench. Pollen Stench applies confusion to either you or your opponent, but with Snorlax you don't have to worry about that because Snorlax can't get confused. Side deck also can evolve into Dark Golduck, it's just not very good. There's no real reason to do that, I guess. But it's there as an option. Regardless, if I have Dark Vileplume up, no trainer cards can be played. I have Dark Gloom up, I can constantly try to inflict confusion to my opponent. And then Snorlax just hits hard, you know, and that's kind of how this deck works. So it's fairly simple, and a lot of these cards here just kind of facilitate getting there. Erica just reads draw 3, and you want to Erica into immediately Imposter Oak's Revenge, because then that gets rid of all of the cards that were just drawn, and sometimes will probably reduce the number of cards that they have in their hand. You're not trying to win by deck out, you're trying to win by stunning them. You want to shut them down, you want to make sure that they're not doing anything. But that comes at the cost of you being very, very vulnerable to being decked out yourself. So if I'm playing up against Tickling Moltres or Hand Destruction, this will most likely not end very well for me. Another issue is if I'm playing against Erica's Aerodactyl, my heavy hitter is a base Pokemon. That's a big problem. Also, if he gets Aerodactyl out there, I can't evolve into Dark Vileplume, and there goes that flood. So that's a little bit of a struggle, and I don't have a great way of healing outside of really just this potion down here, this potion energy. So this deck is not great, and I honestly think that we're probably going to lose this week, but, you know, what are you going to do? I'll see you guys in the battle.
All right, we have Tickling Moltres here. So, quick rundown of the deck. You'll notice we don't have that many Pokemon in here, but all the Pokemon that are in here, other than Moltres, have one job and one job only, and they're all very good at it, and that is to sit there and take damage. Kangaskhan, big boy, can draw with his fetch ability, and can actually hit for some decent damage, but that's not really what he's in here for. Chansey, a lot of HP, can prevent itself from taking damage with Scrunch. And then Lickitung also can paralyze the opponent and has a lot of HP itself. Moltres is the only Pokemon in here that we really care about the moves that it can do, and that's that Wildfire that you see on the screen right there. It causes my opponent to mill a number of cards from the top of their deck equal to the number of fire energies I discard from Moltres for the attack, which can be pretty impactful when you combine it with this next 8 cards here. We've got a play set of both Computer Error and Erica. Computer Error allows both myself and my opponent to draw 5 cards. Erica allows both myself and my opponent to draw 3 cards. Combined, that's 32 cards right there. Your opponent only starts with 48 cards in their deck after their starting hand and their prize pool. So really, you can get rid of almost 75% of their deck right away. Like that. Not a problem. 2/3 of their deck. Now, you may think, oh, but you're also in danger of decking yourself out because you're drawing the same number of cards. True, except for 2 things. Number 1, your opponent's also going to be running a lot of draw power themselves, probably. Some Professor Oaks, some Bills, that sort of thing. And 2, we're running 2 nightly garbage runs, which allow us to grab cards from a discard pile, shuffle them back into the deck, so that we don't deck ourselves out. The other thing you might be thinking, oh, your opponent's got so many cards in their hand, they're going to have so many plays. Also true. But Tickling Machine, granted it's a coin flip, but it forces your opponent to set their entire hand face down, and they can't touch it till the next turn. So it gives you a turn to breathe. Also, we're running a full package of energy removal here, so that even if your opponent does get a killer hand, they're not going to be able to use any Pokemon's abilities because they're just going to keep removing energy. Last is a big problem here, but realistically, other than these energy removals, if we get these cards, we're throw them down. Computer Error we'll have to do at the end of our turn because it does end our turn. We can't attack. But since we don't have supporter cards in this era, we can just play all of our trainers from our hand right away. Don't have to worry about keeping them in the hand and getting hit by last. I'm not even sure if any of these deck lists this week are running last, so. Imposter Professor Oak. Basically, if your opponent has a small hand, you can Imposter Professor Oak, force them to have a bigger hand, draw some more cards. Item Finder just to recover all of our trainers because, we want to keep the opponent drawing. Scoop Up, in case they do get some damage out, we can get our Pokemon back into our hands so we don't start losing prize cards. And then Computer Search just to get out whatever we need, and Professor Oak is more or less in case we brick. It's very interesting. I think this deck is very interesting. I'm very excited to play it. I've never played a deck like this in Pokemon at all. Let's see how it goes. I'll see you guys in the battle.
All right, James, so here we are. How are you feeling for today?
I had to take a mulligan.
Oh, you had to take a mulligan.
Anyway, so I'm feeling pretty excited about this deck.
Great.
That mulligan.
That's great. Well, that's not good. Well, my opening hand's really bad, so we'll see where this is going. You are playing the tickle. You had to take 2 mulligans.
Oh, it said I had to take 1 additional mulligan, so that must be what it meant.
Well.
Oh, so you get to draw 2 extra cards. That's fantastic. I'm so happy about that.
This is not good. This is very bad.
I'm gonna throw a double colorless on the Kangaskhan here.
Okay.
I'm going to Erica.
Of course you are.
Draw 3 cards.
I will be drawing 3 cards.
And then, get our Kangaskhan out here.
Go for it, buddy.
Then I'm going to. Well, I want to do that. I'm just gonna fetch. Ah, perfect.
So, I'm gonna play Bill.
Do you not have any basic Pokemon?
I'm gonna play Erica.
I'll draw 3. Sure, let's go. You're struggling over there, bud.
I'm gonna Computer Search. I'm gonna discard these 2 copies of Misty's Wrath.
Oh, come on. You don't want to play Misty's
I'm gonna
Wrath?
grab the Snorlax and put him down. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna war point here. Go ahead and pick what you're switching.
Okay. I guess we'll get Chansey out there.
Okay. I will put 2 energy on Snorlax.
Impossible. Illegal.
Shut up. I will Imposter Oak's Revenge.
Okay.
And I'll do this by discarding 1 card.
What does Imposter Oak's Revenge do?
It basically rips 5 cards out of your hand.
Ooh. Fancy.
Well, it doesn't. It puts them in the deck, but you know, at least it's reducing your hand size.
That's fair. Do you choose or do I choose, or is it random?
It's random. Yeah, we'll just end our turn here. I mean, I've got like half of the stun lock set up through all of that. Thank you for making me draw a whole bunch. That was very helpful.
Not a problem, bud. That is literally what this deck does, by the way. And I was saying in the pregame, or in the deck breakdown, that's why I had such a hard time trying to build a mill deck in progression, because I couldn't understand, because it's nothing like mill decks in Yu-Gi-Oh.
No, you want me to draw cards. You don't necessarily. I mean, it's always good to dump them too, but you specifically want me to draw them. So just wait until I get my Feraligatr deck going.
Oh god, I played against that in
progression.
progression.
So much fun. That'll be so much fun.
Well, you really did away with a lot of my draw cards.
Oh,
I had my hand. So I'm going to energy removal.
Okay.
I think that's a good move. I'm gonna throw an energy onto Moltres.
Okay.
I'll just end my turn.
That's fine. I will Erica here. Draw 3.
Ooh. Fancy.
Ooh. Okay, cool. So this is nice. This is the right one, right? I can barely tell what I have in my hand. Yeah, so I'm gonna Pokemon Breeder here and evolve into Vileplume. Do you know what Vileplume's ability is?
Not a clue.
So Vileplume is one of the 2, I would say, maybe technically 3, depending on how you consider it, 2 biggest floodgates in the game. So it has Hay Fever,
very nice,
which prevents trainer cards from being played.
That's a problem for me.
That is a big problem for most decks. So Hay Fever blocks me playing any trainer cards. So you can't you can't make me draw anymore.
I can't. You're
sucks
right.
For you. So I will continue. I guess I should have played Erica first because I could have drawn more cards, but that's fine. All right, go for it. What you got?
A lot of trainer cards in my hand. That's what I.
That's understandable. I know Chansey too. That's good.
Yeah, I do have another Chansey.
You got a big beefy boy over there.
Oh man.
Yeah, and put you in quite a spot now, haven't I?
You have.
Because you can't energy removal me either anymore.
I cannot.
You have to somehow get Vileplume out, but you would have to get through Snorlax first.
Yeah, and this deck obviously doesn't exactly attack.
No, it really doesn't. And if you send Moltres out, Moltres is a sitting duck for me to just whack a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and this is what I was saying. I was saying this also in the pre-deck call, that I figured if I am doing well, it's going to be a very long game. If you're doing well, it's going to be a very short game. So we're just going to put 2 more on him, and now we just do this for however many turns. However many turns you want, bud. Sounds good to me. I'm going to bring out Psyduck here. I'm going to put energy on Psyduck. Not that it's necessary anymore, and there's really no reason to do that. In all honesty. Kind of a waste of an energy, because I don't know if you True, but you never know. No, I do in fact know. You never know. I'm just waiting to get one. I have like 2 other live draws here. That is not one of them. So. Is that guaranteed paralysis? It's a flip a coin. That's 3 heads in a row. See, listen, James, you've forgotten I'm the protagonist of the series. I know you are. That was a tails though. That one was a tails. That was a tails. Not that it mattered. I'll Comet Punch here. Yeah, 1 heads. Let's go. Out of 4. Okay, I'll put that on him. Instantly gets heads. Body. Yeah, I wish that'd be awesome. This is when it actually mattered. Against the chance that it didn't matter. This is when it actually does matter.
I'll come wow. Punch. Okay, that's 3 heads there. I'll take that.
It's supposed to be behind a little bit, but it'll make sense in the future.
No, I'm sure that it will. I'm sure that it will.
You cannot play trainer cards next turn.
Oh no, I was very concerned about that ability.
I figured you were. Let's see. Okay, cool. I might have screwed myself, but we will see.
We will see.
We will in fact see. Or, alternatively, big brain plays.
Only 2 heads that time.
That is fine. See, now if I hadn't wasted that one psychic energy on this freaking Psyduck. Okay.
But if you hadn't done that, I might have been able to play.
Psyduck is now confused. That sucks. Okay. That's fine.
What does Pollen Stench do?
It either confuses you or it confuses me.
Ah, okay.
So it's got a really cool interaction with Snorlax.
Comet Punch here, and I'll get another trainer card. I have 10 Alas would really suck right now.
It's true. You know what also really suck right now?
What? Another Vileplume?
Me confusing you?
Yeah, that would suck.
Let's see.
That's a coin flip for my attack, right?
Yep.
Alright, let's flip that coin. Alright, sweet.
Oh, no. Okay, I think that's probably just game at this point.
Oh, you're throwing out Vileplume, not Gloom?
What? Oh, God.
No, you just confused yourself.
This all just went downhill very fast. It's because I put that one energy on Psyduck.
And, oh, I hit myself. How long does Confusion stay?
I don't know.
Dark Vileplume is no longer confused. It is now confused.
This is what we're doing.
No longer confused, it's now confused. Wait, do I flip every turn? Confusion coin flip tails. Okay. Comet Punch. Ow.
I see you're doing things over there.
I'm trying. Alright, let's get that double colors on this Kangaskhan. This has gone from stall and mill to just coin flip beatdown.
Yeah.
Comet Punch.
Oh, you got through that time.
Yeah, I have to flip 5 coins every single time I attack. 1 to actually attack, and 4 to do damage.
My hand.
I can't wait to watch this and see what your hand is.
This is painful, is what it is.
Comet Punch. Yeah, we got through.
Right. So what I'm gonna do is,
I'm sure you've got plenty of plays, considering the fact we both have 14 cards in our hand, and all of them are trainers.
I'm gonna Erica. Go ahead. How many do you want?
Boy, move.
How many do you want, buddy? Come on, come on.
I'll go with 0.
Okay. Well, how many do you want now?
0.
What if I build here?
Oh, what are you doing? Are you trying?
I have something
to
I can play.
Out?
No. Okay. Cool. What does this do?
You have 18 cards in your hand.
You know, I have more cards in my hand than I have in my deck right now.
Yes, you do. Mistaken. Yes, you do.
So, what I can do, what I'm going to do, is I'm going to Pokemon Trader.
Okay.
I'm going to switch out for an Oddish here. I'm going to place down the Oddish.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to Pokemon Breeder and evolve
it. Go right back into
an effect failed! No! I'm going to switch into the Psyduck. Now, what are the chances? Okay, first of all, I played this anyway. And I'm going to discard a Nightly Garbage Run.
Okay.
Goodbye to your hand. I'm going to Nightly Garbage Run. I'm going to grab that. Grab that and that. I don't know why I discarded a Nightly Garbage Run. That was so stupid of me.
I don't know. You needed that Nightly Garbage Run.
I definitely needed. There's so many other cards I could have discarded.
Got rid of 10 cards from my hand and put it back into the deck.
I'm gonna discard those 2.
Come on, play
for
the
an item
Wrath.
finder. I'm gonna grab a Nightly Garbage Run.
This is why supporters exist. in the game today, by the way.
I'm gonna grab those cards.
Uh-huh.
Now, so how good is your hand looking right now, is my question.
I enjoy this hand.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna Sabrina's Gaze then.
I enjoy this hand even more.
That sucks. I'm gonna
Nope,
Sabrina's
Dan's
Gaze
using
again.
Oh, wow, this works too.
Um,
Everything that you're giving me just works, dude.
I'm gonna computer search for a Dark Vileplume.
Okay.
Pollen Stench. End my turn. Alright, what do you got?
I'm gonna computer search here. Discarding item finder and nightly garbage run.
Okay.
To grab.
Hey, do you have a last so you can put these last 2 cards back in my deck?
I don't. This deck does not run any last.
That sounds about right.
What's the move here, Patrick?
Comet Punch.
Oh, well, there's all my. I know where all my computer errors are now.
Are they all on your prize cards?
Oh, yeah, all but one of them. But that must be what my last 3 prize cards are.
Oh, then there you go. Well, you know what you're drawing then at least, right?
Oh, nope. Okay, nope. Okay, there they are. I'm going to grab Scoop Up. I'm going to scoop
Okay.
up my Kangaskhan.
Okay.
And I'm going to get, I guess, Moltres out here.
I mean,
I'll
because
play my
why not?
Kangaskhan. Yeah. I'll Professor Oak to refill my hand. Moltres.
Let's do that like 4 or 5 more times.
I don't think so. How many cards are in your hand right now?
2.
Alright, I'm going to Imposter Professor Oak here.
Damn it, I needed those 2. Oh, never mind, it gave me the same ones back. Okay, cool. Why do I have this? Why are they playing this card? Okay. Well, I guess that makes sense. I'm really making you work for it, I will say.
You really are.
I'm gonna make you work for it even harder starting next turn.
I believe that.
See, the question is, how many fire energies are you playing in your deck?
A lot.
Are you? Because I think you're only playing 8.
Fire Energy on a Moltres.
Of course.
I'm gonna Erica. Grab Erica. I'll Erica
Okay.
here.
Yeah, might as well do Sarah. I don't need any
I was
right
gonna
now.
say, why would you grab any?
I don't need any right now. I've got everything I need in my hand, so.
I'm going to Tickling Machine here.
Tails.
I'm going to.
I'm
Tickling
going
Machine.
to evolve into
Oh, does that
Dark
end my turn?
Vileplume. Yeah, did you not read
Guess
what
that ends
Tickling
my turn.
Machine does?
No, I knew that computer error ended my turn.
Okay, so what you do is you flip a coin. If heads, my opponent sets all cards in my hand face down. And then at the end of my next turn, I'm able to put them back in my hand. If tails, your turn ends immediately.
Sorry, I lost you there.
If tails, you lose your turn, and you flip the tails. Because
Okay.
you don't have massive protagonist energy.
God forbid.
Of course. This is how I win. Your Moltres stays confused for the rest of the game. Hits himself 3 times in a row. Boom. Done. Do I have any more switches?
I'm gonna Wildfire and discard 6. Go ahead.
Wildfired. Oh. Well, that's basically game, isn't
It might be. Unless you can item finder some nightly garbage runs.
it? Let's see. No. So James.
Yes.
Do you see I have Dark Vileplume on my
Oh, you're right. You're locking yourself out of the... Okay, this is game, yeah.
Guess what the next card I drew was?
What was it?
Isabel.
Kitty cat.
So, yeah, this deck and hand destruction were what I was worried about. Because if hand destruction can get to me before I can get Vileplume up, it's over. And if your deck does anything, it's over. So...
You were doing pretty well there for a bit when I had 14 cards in my hand.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just my deck just can't do like. There was one misplay, but I think even if I didn't misplay that, I was probably not favored to win.
Are you talking about the energy on
Randomly
the side
putting
deck?
energy on side deck, yeah. And the only reason I did that was to have a free switch in the future. But because I did that, I was down in energy, and I couldn't put an energy on Snorlax to actually hit for damage. So that was my only real misplay. Still, I think that I was just never gonna win this match.
This was such a bad matchup.
It was such a bad matchup for me. This is a terrible deck to go up against with this strategy. Simply
yes,
because
the dark Vileplume actually stalled out the game a lot longer.
Yeah, no. I mean, the dark Vileplume is good. The problem is that my deck wants to draw a whole bunch of crap and then just whack you a bunch. Your deck is like, I don't care if you draw, because we'll just cycle through like 120 HP bodies. By the time that you're done with that, you'll be dead.
So. That's what I was saying. I was like, okay, so you see all these Pokemon in the deck below. I was like, oh, you see all these Pokemon? Yeah, none of them other than Moltres do anything other than sit there.
Yeah.
Except Kangaskhan knocked out 3 Pokemon.
Well, see, here's the thing. I mean, you had to, because
I had no choice.
You couldn't do anything else. But, like, your deck doesn't need to attack. My deck's entire gimmick is that Snorlax cannot be confused by Pollen Stench. You can't do anything with your trainer cards, and I just hit you a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just keep on trying to confuse you, so you can't hit me back. I lock you into whatever's in your hand that isn't a trainer card. But your deck doesn't care about that most of the time.
Oh, it definitely cares.
But in this matchup, it doesn't matter to it, because it's just like, okay, I'll just throw a bunch of energies on Moltres and I'll outlast you. So that's the battle.
In this particular matchup, it really doesn't care. Yeah. I mean, if you were playing, I'm sure there's ways that this deck could have been more aggressive and capitalized on Dark Vileplume locking me out of 60% of my deck.
I'm sure it could have been, had it been like I'm trying to lock you out and then hit you with like a Haymaker card. Like if I was playing like Hitmonchan, Mewtwo, Electabuzz, Zapdos,
if you were playing Hitmonchan, like I'm done for.
Oh yeah, you're just screwed. Because it's just like I will like 1 or 2 shot everything you have. Mm-hmm. So, or 3 shot, whatever. You know what I mean? Like you'd be dead pretty quickly. Except for your Moltres, I'd have to have some kind of answer for your Moltres. But I get Mewtwo, I've got Zapdos, I can do whatever I want with those 2 guys if I really wanted to. If I was playing Haymaker. So I will tell you, absolutely tragically, that my first spin was Wigglytuff Beatdown. And I said, we've seen this already twice now. I don't think people want to see it the 3rd week in a row. So we're gonna go ahead and not spin that. I think we've seen it twice. I've played it twice, haven't we?
It's definitely you played it twice.
I'm pretty sure I played it twice.
So I would have had a much harder time against that.
Oh deck. Yeah, no, I would have won. I know that deck. I know that deck inside and out, and it adds a bunch of really good cards to it. So.
When I was looking through, I was like, okay, this Wigglytuff deck is gonna be a problem if that's what you spun up. But I know you like to play it.
Yeah, but I decided not to, just for entertainment purposes, and I wanted to show off. I will say, this format has so many different strategies in it. You've got your strategy with the Zamil. I've got my strategy with the Stun. There's a bunch of other strategies that people were playing. Like, my favorite deck in this format, just because it's so weird, is the Brock Misty deck. Because you just transform into Gyarados and just whack. And you don't have to go through all of the hoops to jump in to get it. And it's such an interesting interaction. So, that I really liked. I unfortunately did not get to spin that. But, Next week, we'll be moving on to an interesting format. I've alluded to it in the opening and in the breakdown. But it is the worst format ever conceived by Wizards of the Coast for this game. Everyone knows it's terrible. It's so bad that all it was one day at it was 1 or 2 days, but it was one day at a Super Trainer Showdown in New Jersey. That was it. That was this entire format. It was a rule change just for that, and it was a huge rule change. And people hated it so much that they reversed it immediately afterwards, and we go back to this format, which is way more fun. So
I'm excited to see what kind of decks people put together for such a weird and one-off format, though.
It is really bad. People were hating it. And it was the goal of the format was to solve the very problems with trainer cards we're experiencing in this set, and it makes it worse. So
where you just constantly play nonstop.
Yeah. So they figured it out later with adding in a supporter cards as like
supporters was definitely the way to go.
But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We're really appreciating all of the surge of support from you guys. You seem to be really liking the series. So please do continue to like and subscribe down below, and have a great rest of you guys this week.
Absolutely. Swing over by Twitch on Mondays, or excuse me, on Wednesdays and Sundays to hang out with us as well. Have a good week, guys.